Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there is no problem with the audio or the video, please do let me know. I will just open up the uh, live session in my mobile phone as well. I hope that I'm audible, guys. If you are having any questions, you can ask me in the instant. Okay, I'm just waiting for everyone to join us. I've opened up the live chat in my mobile phone as well so that I'm able to see all the people talking. Why so less number of students have turned up today? Did the information for the bootcamp not be shared with all the WhatsApp groups? I think so. The information was shared with everyone on the WhatsApp groups as well. Why hasn't everyone joined us up till this particular point of time? Those who have joined us, please put a hi or a hey on the live chat so that I'm able to identify that okay, students are joining us and they are attentive as well. Hello everyone. Hello. Very less number of students have turned up today. I don't know why. No issues. We will continue with our session. Today we are going to start off with JavaScript. So that is what we are going to do today, and let's see how that goes on. Hello, sir. I'm unable to join the WhatsApp group. Please make another group. Pranay, what you can do in the meanwhile is you can join the Telegram channel. Okay, there's a Telegram group as well. The link to the same is down in the description of the video. You can join that for the meanwhile. Okay, I don't think so. There will be any problems with the same. All the information on the WhatsApp groups are being shared on the Telegram channel as well. Whenever there's you find the link for the WhatsApp group, you can directly join the WhatsApp group as well. Okay, in the meanwhile, you can join the Telegram channel. Okay, still very less number of students have came up for today's bootcamp. I don't know why is that the case. We will be covering JavaScript today, guys. That will be the aim of today's video. We'll try to cover a bit of JavaScript today. Okay, so how many of you have like registered for the upcoming bootcamp on Node.js or the Python and machine learning bootcamp that is going to happen? There are two upcoming bootcamps for the next week, that is the Node.js bootcamp as well as the Python and machine learning bootcamp. Has some of you registered for the same? Okay, please do not forget to complete the final registration because that is compulsory. Okay, so if you haven't done the final registration for the upcoming boot camps, please try to do that as soon as possible. That's great. So many guys have already okay, where's the one for Node.js? Little owl, you can just go to our website devtown.in. In there you can just find it in the events section itself. Okay, you can go to the events section. You will be able to find the upcoming boot camps that are starting from the 16th of February itself. Okay, so you can join us for the upcoming boot camps from there. So this boot camp will be over by 14th. Then there will be a 2 days break, and then we will be starting off with our JavaScript and Node.js bootcamp. So that is the backend web development bootcamp, and the second one will be the Python and machine learning bootcamp. Both will be starting from 16th of February itself. The timings will be the same. Okay, so you can directly register yourself from the website itself, devtown.in/events. I will share the link with you guys. But once you have registered yourself, please complete the final registration as well. Okay, that is for the upcoming boot camps, guys. So every week, so not every week, like between two boot camps we have 2 days of break. Okay, so almost like 3 to 4 boot camps a month we try to organize on various different like topics. So the next topic that I'm planning for in web development is your Netflix landing page using HTML and CSS. And the second one that I'm planning for is deployment of machine learning models using TensorFlow.js deploying machine learning models to the web using TensorFlow.js. That is the bootcamp, 2 bootcamps that I'm planning for, like the upcoming bootcamp. Okay, so that is what I'm planning right now. Can DevTown arrange one for Angular too? So little owl, what my suggestion would be, Angular is a good framework to learn upon, but right now the demand for React and like Node.js is something that is huge. So see, usually my suggestion to students who are currently in college and who are looking forward to get placed is that don't explore a lot. Okay, you know what is going to get you placement, try to focus upon that. Once you have gotten the placement itself, then you can focus upon going into different frameworks and trying out different stuff. Before that, try to focus upon first getting a placement. That is the most important thing in our training and internship program as well. So we provide placements to our students, and that's why the placement report is also so great. So because let me just show it to you guys. Most of the students that joined our program are from like third tier colleges itself, but still, like, see, it's not just the instructors. So the instructors are of course great. The instructors are from companies like Oracle, Microsoft, so that is awesome. Okay, but it's important that you guys are able to get into good companies, and for that it's all about how much hard work you are able to put in. Okay, so for example, like, you are having Barik. Okay, Barik got placed in Google. So she was with us for the full stack data science training and internship program, and she completed the entire program along with the data structures and algorithms that we provided to her. So in that particular way, she was coming to the class on time, doing the courses on time. She was able to complete the projects on time. Or if she had any kind of doubt, she was approaching the instructors for their both for their opinion as well as for their say as well in the projects. So these things like separate you from the crowd. And when we bring in companies like Microsoft, Gap, Google, or even Amazon, Samsung, Geo, so various different companies we are able to bring in. So once these companies are coming in, they do not want average people. They want the best. So if you're doing well in the entire program, then and only then you will be able to get placed in companies like Oracle, Flipkart, Walmart, Deutsche Bank. So these are companies that will, like, it will take efforts, and these companies offer 40 plus lakh placements. Okay, it's not a very little amount of money. 40 plus lakh placements is usually like the amount of money that maybe your parents are earning at this particular point of time after 30 years of experience. So that sets you apart from the crowd. If you want to get placements like this, you have to work harder. See, for example, I am a particular instructor. Okay, we have in full stack, let's take about full stack itself. We have instructors from American Express, Geo, McKinsey and Company, Google, Sony, Oracle, DevTown, American Express. So like there are a huge array of instructors that are available. These people will be able to guide you properly. They will be able to connect you with different like companies so that you are able to apply there as well. But at the end of the day, it's all upon you. Like, of course, having a good instructor who is teaching you every day live, who is able to support you, who is able to solve your doubts regularly, that is a very big advantage at the end of the day. But you have to work hard as well. It's not just that you have instructor is teaching, I will be watching Netflix in the meanwhile and I will get placement in Google. If that is happening, let me also know. Okay, I will also apply there. So that's not the case. Okay, right now the competition is getting tougher and tougher day by day. So you need to make sure that you stand out from the rest of the crowd. Okay. Some framework sessions, sure, will definitely have. So for example, if you want to learn more about some of the frameworks, you can follow us on Instagram. We are planning to post some posts on like different frameworks explaining why these frameworks are popular, which companies are using these frameworks, and why should you be learning it. These type of posts we posted on Instagram as well as LinkedIn. You can connect to us with there. What about Express? So when you are learning like the Node.js, it's not just Node.js. Express is usually connected to it because it cannot like both of them cannot exist separately. So you will be learning Express as well as Node.js. Okay. So Node.js and .NET, which one is better for backend web development? Pankaj, so the legacy, if you are able to understand legacy code, okay, whenever you are going into a company, there is some pieces of code that are like 30 years, 20 years old. Now, these code are called as legacy code that haven't been changed. These will usually be made in .NET because these are coming from 20 to 30 years ago. And most of these APIs that were developed in .NET are now being changed into like either Node.js or Go based APIs, but this is a very slow and steady change. Okay, so my suggestion to you would be go with Node.js, not .NET. Okay, can I get connected to you on LinkedIn? Sure, you can search for my name, Shaurya Sinha. You can connect to me on LinkedIn as well. There's no issue. Okay, so let's get started, guys, with today's class. I will just open up the inspect element. Okay, down below console. Okay, so we'll start with JavaScript right now. For you guys, if you want to go on with me, okay, if you are on your laptops and you want to code alongside with me, what you can do right now is just go to any website. Any website would do, not just Google. Any website, just open it up. Even if your internet is not working, no issues in that. Just open any website. Do a right click right over here on anywhere inside the page. Okay, go to inspect. Okay, there is one option called as inspect. Just select inspect right over there. It will open such a panel either down or on the right side. If it is opening on the right side or on the top or something like that, there is three dots at the top right corner of this box. Okay, just click on these three dots and just select the one that shows the panel at the bottom of the page. Okay, in that particular way it will just open up like how you are able to see on my screen itself. What you want to do is there's a lot many number of options right over here: elements, console, sources, network, performance, memory, application, security, lighthouse, recorder. I want you to open up console. Okay, I want you to open up console. Today we are going to, whatever code that we are going to do, we are going to do it inside console itself. Okay, we are going to start off with JavaScript today. And today and tomorrow, today we'll be covering the basics of JavaScript. Tomorrow we'll be going into a bit advanced, like mediocre advanced level. Okay, and that is what our plan is. So once you have reached here, you can code along with me, or else like just listen to me and understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so any programming language, whenever you start off by like, for example, if you are a Hindu or you are from India, you will be able to understand this very easily. Whenever you are going to start off with something new or something auspicious, it is usually considered a good omen to eat like dahi, like curd and sugar before doing that. Similarly, whenever you are starting any new programming language, it's a good omen by the programming community itself to start off with a hello world. Okay, so printing hello world to your screen, that is our first aim. We want to see hello world being printed on our screen. So for that we are having an alert function in JavaScript. So what it does is you can just like alert alert, and then in parenthesis you have to write your message. The message is hello world. Are you able to see what I'm typing right over here? Should I increase the size of the text? Are you able to see what I'm typing on my screen right now, guys? Are you guys able to see what I'm typing on my screen right now, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, great. So to print something to your screen, we are going to use the alert keyword. Okay, it basically means say hello world. Okay, whenever you are using English, normal English, you will be saying say hello world, speak hello world. Similarly, when you are writing this in JavaScript, the language that you will be using is alert hello world. Okay, now when I'm running this particular line of code, so let's run this particular line of code. Just press enter, that will run this particular line of code. You will be able to see that I'm getting a notification right over here. Chrome new tab page says hello world. Okay, I'm able to print hello world to my screen. You can just press OK and that's it. Okay, I can just press OK and that's it. Okay, it's returning to me undefined. This is something that we'll be discussing tomorrow when we'll be looking into functions and how do we call them and everything. But right now, just keep this in mind that whenever you are using alert, you are just getting undefined after it. Okay, it should be that there is something odd with it, but we'll be discussing it about in tomorrow when we are able to learn about functions as well. Okay, that is our aim. So what if I want to have like two alerts at the same time? I don't want to have just a single alert hello world. I want to have two alerts. So let us see what happens. Okay, I'm writing the hello world. Let's just copy this. Why should I write it? I'm copying it right over here. As soon as, so to go into the next line, usually you press enter. To go to the next line, I want to have alert two times. So I will have to go to the next line to write the next line of code. But when, as soon as I'm pressing enter, it's just running this particular line of code. It's not taking my cursor to the next line of code. Why is that the case? Because when console, this is how usually code are run line by line. You want to go to the next line in the console itself, what you have to do is, instead of just pressing enter, you have to press shift. Okay, keep on pressing shift and then enter. Keep on pressing shift and then enter. So that will take you to the next line, and then you can write your code again and then press enter. So you are able to see that once I'm getting hello world and twice I'm getting hello world. So the entire code runs two times. Okay. Now there's a huge problem with this. Whenever I want to write, so you will not be writing codes that are just one line. Okay, you will take like, we will write codes that are 100 lines of code, like, or 200 lines of code. So every single time you have to press shift enter to go to the next line of code. Now maybe due to some particular reason, instead of pressing shift enter, by mistake you just pressed enter. After writing, you wanted to write 100 lines of code, you were at 50th line of code and you press shift enter. Now that 50 lines of code, you pressed enter. Now that 50 lines of code will get executed. Now this is a huge problem for you. Every single time whenever by mistake you press enter, all the lines get executed, and this is not what you want. So for that, you can go to sources. Now we were in console. I will just reduce the size a bit. We were in console. Now go to sources. Inside sources, okay, as you are able to see, there's a many number of pages right over here. We want to create a new file. Okay, we want to create a new file right over here. So let's look at this. Let me just use the size as well. Okay, so once you have gone to sources, okay, once you have went to sources, there will be a double arrow right over here on the left hand side. Are you able to see this double arrow on the left hand side? Are you guys able to see the double arrow on the left hand side? Okay, great. So once you have clicked this double arrow right over here, okay, you will get pages, file system, overrides, content scripts, as well as snippets. I want you to select snippets from right over here. This takes you to a new page. Here you can create a JavaScript file to run. Instead of writing your code in the console, you can create a file. You can write all your code in that particular file at once and then just run it at the end. Similar to what we were doing in HTML and CSS. Instead of executing every single HTML line, we first wrote the entire code and then we sent it to the browser to look at. Okay, so we'll just create a new snippet right over here. Just click on new snippet. We'll name this particular page as practice. Let's index. Let's name it index.js. Okay, we'll name this particular file as index.js. So this is our index.js file. Okay, what we want to do is we want to write our two lines of alert. Okay, so we are having alert alert, and then let me just copy it. Why I'm writing it again and again. So alert hello world 2. So let's have 1 and 2 right over here just to make distinguish the same. Repeat snippet sir once. No issues in that. It's very simple, guys. Okay, what you have to do is you have to go for, you were in console. Okay, you were in console right now. You want to go to sources. Once you have entered into sources, you want to select this particular two arrow button right over here, two heads right over here. Select snippets from there. Once you have entered into snippets, create a new snippet, rename it as index.js, and all your code that you want to execute, you can execute is from index.js itself. Once you have written the code, use Control S, that is Control S, to save this particular file, that is index.js. Now you want to run this particular file. To run this particular file, there are two ways. What you can do is, at the bottom of the page, you are able to see this particular play button at the bottom of the page itself, called as control plus enter. You can click on this particular button to run this exact file. Or the second option is, you can directly do control and then enter. If you are doing control and enter, that too will run this particular file. Okay, click on control and then enter. Okay, so that will have us hello world 1 and then hello world 2. So both our lines have been run. Okay, now we have looked at alert. Okay, alert has three different like parts. So you are having the alert function itself, you are having the hello world, this is called a string in JavaScript. Okay, and then you are having the semicolon. Now this semicolon basically tells JavaScript that this is the end of the line. Okay, go to the next line and start executing code. Okay, if you are removing the semicolon, maybe right over here you won't get any issues, it will run the code absolutely fine. But when you are writing 1000 lines of code, 2000 lines of code, it may be possible that JavaScript is not able to identify and is able to produce some like errors or some bad results for you. So it's always a good practice to put a semicolon at the end of a particular line. Okay, now there are, like I said, strings. So this is called as a string in JavaScript. Okay, what is called as a string in JavaScript, guys? This particular hello world is called as string. So whenever you put anything into inverted commas, okay, quotation marks, whether it be a double quotation mark or a single quotation mark, it is considered as a string. Okay, other data types in, so this is called as data types in JavaScript. There are other data types like numbers. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, these are one of the type of data types. Boolean, so boolean is like true and false values, that is another data type in like JavaScript. There are other data types as well, but these are the basic data types, not going too deep into it. For example, if I'm writing alert alert 1 plus 2, okay, if I'm writing alert 1 plus 2, this will give me the answer as 3. Okay, this will give me the answer as 3 as the output. So 1 and 2 are not your strings. Okay, there are your integers. But if I'm writing something like this, alert, then I'm having inside of the quotation marks 1, that is a string right now. This is not a number, guys, this is a string. Then I'm adding 2 to it, okay, again as a string itself. In this particular case, instead of getting 3 as the answer, it will be giving me 12 as the answer. Why is that the case? Because here you are concatenating, you're not adding, you're concatenating two strings. Okay, there's a huge difference between addition and concatenation. In addition, you are adding two numbers. In concatenation, you are appending one string at the end of the second string. Okay, so when I'm running this particular line of code, you will be able to see that we are getting 12 as our answer. Are you guys able to understand this? The difference between addition and concatenation. So concatenation happens in strings, addition happens in numbers. Are you able to understand this, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, great, amazing, guys, amazing. So next what we are going to do is we are going to look at prompt. Okay, another function, another very important function in like your JavaScript is to take an input from the user. Okay, there will be many cases in which you would like your users to give input to your website. So for that we are having one particular like function called as prompt. Okay, inside of prompt you have to put your question. Okay, so what is your name, question mark, and done. So as soon as I'm running this particular line of code, we have looked at alert, that generated an alert to us. Now we are looking at prompt. So as soon as I'm putting an enter, okay, I'm running this particular line of code, we're getting a prompt, we're getting an alert, but here it is asking us what is your name, and it is asking us to write our name as well. So let's write our name. So my name is Shaurya. Okay, I will just press enter my name Shaurya and I will press OK, and as you're able to see that names come back to us in JavaScript. Okay, the name comes back to us as an output. but that name is lost. Even though the like the user entered his name, I'm not able to use this name anywhere else. Okay, it just came back. I know it's Shaurya, but I'm not able to use it anywhere. To handle this particular situation, you are having variables in Python. You are having variables in Python. So what do variables mean? Okay, let's try to understand them. Okay, let's try to have an example. Some of you who have been a part of the Python bootcamp may find this redundant when talking about variables, but it's important. The same concept goes on with the delete. Okay, the same concept goes on with JavaScript as well. So actually, my Bluetooth keyboard lost its battery, so I'm having to use the keyboard of my laptop for the first time. I'm not feeling very comfortable with typing right now, but no issues in that. Okay, so let me just attach my writing tablet right now. Okay, let's try to understand this, guys. So let me just white. Okay, so variables. Okay, we need to understand that. Let's assume that my name is Shaurya. Okay, I've told that my name is Shaurya to you guys. And I also said that I love bikes. Okay, I love bikes. I personally have an Apache 310 RR, and I love to ride bikes. I love to go out to various different cities on bike rides as well, on tours as well. So that's it. That's the information that I have given to you. Now, every single time when you meet me, will you be calling me by the name Shaurya again and again? Maybe some of you may be calling me like bro. If you are like South Indian, I've seen them usually reminiscing the word bro instead of just calling someone by their name. If you are a North Indian, you may be calling me by sir, or you may be calling me by bhaiya, or even if you are a very small kid, you may misunderstand me as an uncle as well. So there's a huge many array of words. If you are my friend, you may be calling me by some slang. Okay, so there are so many different words that you can use to call a particular person. But again and again, whenever you are referring to me, okay, to someone, you'll be first of all telling me that okay, his name is Shaurya, and from the next time you won't be using Shaurya again and again. You will be using some other word. So there is some other word X. It may be bhaiya, it may be sir, it may be bro, or some slang or something like that that you're using that denotes the value Shaurya, that denotes the value Shaurya. And everywhere else, wherever you want to address me, you will be using this particular word to address me anywhere else as well. Okay, similarly in any programming language as well. So for example, you have written like 1000 lines of code, and everywhere wherever you want to use a particular number, you had used different numbers right over here, and some numbers might have been repeated, and so on and so forth. If I need to change all the values of my rent from 1000 to 1500, then I will have to go back every single line of code and change every single 1000 to 1500. But it may be a particular condition in which even my electricity bill is also, for example, I'm also mining Bitcoin right now, so my electricity bill is also the same as my rent. Okay, if it's 1000 as my rent, my electricity bill is also 1000. But right now only my rent has increased, so I will have to identify whether this particular 1000 is my rent or is my electricity bill. I will have to identify it, and it will make the entire process very 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 long. So for that, we are having your variables. You can just have a variable called as rent and assign 1000 to it. Everywhere, wherever you are using rent, just write rent instead of 1000. If you want to change one rent from 1000 to 1500, just in this particular line itself, just put it 1500. You don't have to touch your code. You just have to change this declaration of the variable itself. Okay? Are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to say? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand why variables are important? Why variables are important? Are you able to understand that? Please write it down in the live chat, guys, so that I'm able to understand that you guys are understanding what I'm teaching. Okay? There are 87 people on the live chat right now, guys. Please let me know whether you guys are able to understand it or not. Okay, great. So in JavaScript, whenever you want to create a particular variable, for example, I want to create this variable itself. So to do that, you just have to write var, that is a short form for variable, name of the variable rent is equals to 500. That's it. This is how you create a variable in JavaScript. Okay, this is how you create a variable in JavaScript. There are three type of variables in JavaScript. We are not going deep into it. If we will be using it in the project, I will be explaining it to you in the training and internship. Of course, we are explaining it. This is just a brief introduction, so I'm not going to do it right now. But for just the basics, var is rent is equals to 500. This is how you create a variable in JavaScript. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's move on from right over here. Okay, so for right now, I need to save this Shaurya, whatever your input you are getting from the user. I need to save it somewhere, and for that I'm going to use your var name is equals to prompt, and then what is your name, question mark. Done. So what will happen right over here is whatever input that we are giving, so we will get a prompt, we'll give an input to it, and that input will now be saved in a particular variable called as name. Okay, it will be saved in a particular variable called as name. So let's put enter, let's put Shaurya Sinha. And as you're able to see right now, you are not able to get the Shaurya back. We will talk about it tomorrow when we are dealing with creating your own functions and how these things work. Okay, but right now if I'm putting an alert, alert alert, and just name. Okay, I'm putting an alert name itself, I'm pressing enter. You are able to see that in the alert my name Shaurya Sinha is coming to the screen. Okay, so inside name, think of name as a particular box. Inside of it, the value Shaurya Sinha is stored. So when I'm creating an alert for name, the value inside the name is being shown to my screen as of this particular moment. So maybe I need to, so we have already learned about concatenation. Okay, we have already learned about concatenation as of this particular moment. So we can use concatenation to create a better alert. So alert, let's put an alert, hello, space. Okay, then to make concatenation we just have to put a plus mark, name, plus mark, and then space, how are you. As simple as this. Okay, we are creating an alert saying hello, what is name, how are you. So let's run this. As you are able to see, we are able to get hello Shaurya Sinha, how are you. Okay, so we can use concatenation to create some complex interactions with the users as well. Are you guys able to understand? So we can use prompt as well as alert to create complex interactions with the users. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, I hope that everyone is able to understand. Great, amazing, guys, amazing. Next, so we learned about creating variables. Right now we are going to learn about what are the different variable naming conventions. So it's not like, of course you can name your kid like poop as well, but it's not correct. Like, you shouldn't be naming your kid as poop. There are some rules and regulations as well, that you cannot name your kid as Bible or something like that. Okay, any of the holy books you cannot name your kid as. That is a legal action by the government itself. So there are some rules and regulations related to naming your kid. Okay, and similarly in your programming languages as well, when you are having like when you are naming variables, there's some kind of conventions and some type of rules that you need to follow while naming a particular variable as well. Now one of the first rules is that variable names cannot contain spaces. Okay, so I cannot have a variable name var as namespace. I got a notification that the OBS studio has stopped working. Are you guys able to see me properly? Okay, I think so everything is working fine. Don't we need to specify the data type while getting the input? Right now, we are assuming that the input being given to us is string itself. We can use the data type conversion to convert a particular input to other data types as well, but that is beyond the scope right now. It's just dealing with the basics. Okay. Okay, there's no lagging. Okay, great. Okay, so that is what I was saying. First of all, you cannot have a variable name as namespace. Sure, you cannot have space in a variable name. Okay, that is considered two different units itself. Okay, so please remember that. Secondly, variable names must begin with a letter, an underscore, or a dollar sign. Okay, so we can have a letter. Okay, we can have a capital letter, we can have a particular underscore as our first letter, or we can have dollar. We cannot have numbers, we cannot have any other special characters. We can only have underscore or dollar as the first element of the variable name. Please remember this: letter, capital letter, small letter, dollar, or underscore. Okay, variable names can only contain letters, numbers, underscores, or dollar signs. Okay, anywhere else in the entire name we can have numbers as well. Okay, so a particular variable name consists of numbers, letters, underscores, or dollar signs. Okay, variable names are case sensitive. For example, name, 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 name are all, or even like NAME, okay, are all different variable names. These are all different variable names, but JavaScript will treat them as totally different variable names itself. Okay, so please remember variable names are case sensitive because JavaScript is a case sensitive language. Certain words may not be used as variable names, that are the keywords. There are some keywords in every programming language. These keywords cannot be used as your variable name. For example, you cannot use var as your variable name. You cannot use alert or prompt as your variable name. You cannot use for or while as your variable name, and so on and so forth, because these words already have a special meaning in JavaScript. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please do let me know. Guys, are you able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Amazing. So we have learned about the basics that are required up till now. Tomorrow we are going to look at functions in Python. Sorry, in Python, not in JavaScript. Because we will be using functions while developing components in React. And day after tomorrow, we'll directly be starting off with our project. We'll be completing the project in the same day as well as learning React. It won't be a big deal. Okay. So I hope that you are able to understand like variable naming conventions as of this particular moment, guys. Amazing. So I will just show the attendance link for today. I think so today is your day 5, so let me just change it to day 5. The attendance link is on your screen as of this particular moment. You can fill up the attendance form right now. Okay, take a screenshot, fill the attendance link on time, guys. Okay, tomorrow we'll be starting off with our functions. We'll be completing that tomorrow. We'll be starting off with React as well, if it's possible. This is the basics. We'll be covering it tomorrow. So functions and the basics of React is something that we are going to start from tomorrow itself. Please be on time. We'll try to complete it on time as well. Okay, great meeting you guys today. Thank you so much and have a good day ahead. Thank you.